Peace, good evening. Welcome to Writing on the Wall. Tonight we're going to have two projections on two different iconic buildings here in the city. The goal for tonight, if there is a goal, is to get you to check out the projections written by incarcerated prisoners, reflect on what you're reading, see work from ancestors and from freedom fighters, and then a call to action for you. We hope you enjoy our program. Thank you. Enjoy the show. Particularly with people who are incarcerated. PNAP's been around for a minute. The depth of the work that you guys do with the prisoners in that program, what have some of those results been from the work that you all have seen?
Well, there's been some amazing, because we're not just only writing, we're also visual arts, history, teaching political science as well. So even just seeing other projection work, other exhibition work that's happened, actual writing, like bound writing, some of the poetry that men have written, and also all of the advocacy around actually getting men, in particular men who were tortured by John Burge here in Chicago, trying to get their freedom. So I'm actually going to read in a little bit a poem from Gerald Reed, who's actually on the inside in Stateville, and also two poems by men who've been released who are actual victims as well.
Let's get it.
Okay, let's jump into it. So really quick, I'm going to read this amazing poem by Patrick Pursley, and it's entitled "The Lost I Am." I am fire and brimstone. I am the second coming in the zone. I am the peasant, the peon, the non-affiliated, the neutron. I am the king without a throne, the follower disciple, the rolling stone, riddled with vice. I am the persistent idea that can't be stifled. I am nothing nice. I am the prisoner, the suffrage, the languishing slang. I am the nigger with no name, buried in an unmarked grave. I am the suffering product of America's capital gain. I am the venom and the anecdote, the unspoken word, the forgotten quote. I am the sun-kissed silence, the restrained violence within a movement of anti-violence. I am the black dawn of gratitude, the cry of freedom and the echoes of solitude. I am heretofore until I am here no more. 15 years, 7 months, 4 weeks, 1 day, 16 hours and 33 minutes to be exact. 5,724 dreadful days, 137,416 and a half hours, 8,244,993 miserable minutes. And I won't forget a second of it. I missed 66 of my kids' birthdays, 337 holidays, 16 vacations, 14 graduations, 11 funerals. First steps, first words, all of my 20s, half of my 30s, most of my life, I lost everything. Every dime I had, 4 pills, friends, family, my fiance, my relationship with my kids. At times, I lost faith. Other times, I lost hope. A few times, I even lost myself. But I survived. I survived the conditions. I survived the ornery, tyrannical officers, some wolfish, Bolshevist inmates. A stabbing, being jumped, 2 black eyes, 2 busted lips, 1 chipped tooth, a busted head, 6 stitches, 1 broken nose, 1 fractured arm, 1 concussion. The suffering, the pain, the loss. But I overcame, I endured. But never hearing, never seeing, never speaking, never caring, never feeling, never loving, never resting, never giving up. For 15 years, 7 months, 4 weeks, 1 day, 16 hours and 33 minutes to be exact. 5,724 dreadful days, 137,416 and a half hours, 8,244,993 miserable minutes, all for a crime I didn't commit. And I can't forget a second of it, but who's counting?
Whoa.
Powerful, right?
Whoa.
This is the brother that actually represented himself in court to overturn his conviction.
With instruments in our hands and songs of hope and freedom in front of us, we gather and play to put our abandoned, weary souls at ease. We gather to hear each other, see each other through the music we make. We gather to honor the life and legacy of Elijah McClain. Also gather believing that the collective sound of our strings vibrating will continue to speak justice even when our voices get tired. Every note played tonight will bring Black music matters, Black joy matters, Black grief matters, Black lives matter.
As I've always said, a riot is the language of the unheard. What is it that America has failed to hear? It has failed to hear that the plight of the Negro poor has worsened over the last few years. It fails to hear that the promises of freedom and justice have not been met. It has failed to hear that large segments of white society are more concerned about tranquility and the status quo than about justice, equality, and humanity. So in a real sense, our nation's summers of riot are caused by our nation's winters of delay. As long as America postpones justice, we stand
ain't gonna let nobody can't let them turn me around, Lord. Turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I just keep on walking, keep on talking, marching on the freedom land. To a black person, to a brown or indigenous person in America, what is your 4th of July? If not a day that reveals to us, more than any other day of the year, the bold-faced injustice, cruelty, and oppression of which we have been the constant victim, the butt of the American joke. Because to us, your celebration is a sham. All the talk of liberty and national greatness is just to feed the American ego. The sounds of celebration and rejoicing are empty, heartless. All this talk about down with tyranny and equality this and justice that is a fraud. Actually, it's a mockery. Because the prayers, the hymns, all the sermons and giving thanks, all the pomp and circumstance, and oh, this great nation, it means nothing. It's a mere facade, a placebo. We are a nation of hypocrites. Why should I commemorate the independence of a country, the freedom of a country within which I am not free? My children are not free. Neither were my parents. We fight for freedom to live, think, and speak freely. People have died for freedom. But I wasn't free in 1620, 17, or 18, or 1920, and I'm not free today, so let's talk about it. There is no nation on earth guilty of more crimes, of more shocking and bloody practices than the United States of America. That's why, instead of celebrating your Independence Day, those of us who are wide awake will continue to celebrate our interdependence upon one another. Because we all we got. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
The very same forces that wrecked economies abroad for short-time gain there are swinging a giant wrecking ball toward you and your tomorrows. If that doesn't fuel you, what will? If that doesn't steal you, what will? If you would be the 99%, be the 99%. This is not only possible, it's necessary. The real deal is occupy everything. Where the people are, there should you be. Where power and wealth are hurting the people, there you should be organizing, resisting, fighting back, winning a better world. You will succeed if you fight hard enough, for despite what the corporate media echoes, the majority of the people are on your side. You're voicing their concerns, their fears, and their sense of mass betrayal. In fact, it has largely been the corporate Dow Jones reporting media that has betrayed their readers, listeners, and viewers, not only by selling the wars, but by selling their corporate visions to the world, in effect, by being their mouthpieces. That's where the big bucks are. So, to defend their masters, the lords of high finance, they will try to savage you. Know that this is but a signal of your success and a reflection of their bosses' fears. Keep on rolling. Keep on moving. And while you do it, treat each other as brothers and sisters, compañeros y compañeras. Care for each other. For that in itself will distinguish your movement from the market-driven carelessness and selfishness that characterizes the age of globalized capital. Same old has not been working for us. We need only look around us and see this. It's time for a better way. Do you wait or do you act? From Message to the Movement, this is Mumia Abu Jamal. These commentaries are recorded by Noel Hanrahan of Prison Radio.
I'm very familiar with the perception of my home, my neighborhood. People are fearful of it. They think that it's nothing but gun violence and victims. My grandmother moved here in 1962, as so many other black families trying to purchase homes. But yet, when they purchased those homes, all of a sudden, businesses started to leave. City resources weren't deployed to this neighborhood. We were a thriving neighborhood, but we had historic, legalized theft that occurred through racist policies, and people do not know that. And they don't know that Inglewood is one of the neighborhoods that was deeply impacted by those racist policies in the 50s and 60s. So that's how you end up with neighborhoods in Chicago, primarily on Chicago's South and West Side, that are predominantly black, predominantly disinvested by the city, and other neighborhoods that are predominantly white that are thriving and over-resourced. Why would a group of people that you believe are from the South Side come to downtown to loot? Why? What is the psychology behind that? I look around at where they live because I'm also their neighbor, and I can see why. I can understand the difficult life decisions people have to make as a result of living in a neighborhood that doesn't have a business corridor, that has over 15 closed schools. People aren't working who were employed in a neighborhood that had high unemployment. So when you stack all of these issues and injustices on top of each other, and you land at a period where it's a pandemic that will just exacerbate everything, then it should not be surprising that a population would loot.